Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're doing the deck rebuilds for the new expansion in Hearthstone, the Doomsday project. At least we're in theory doing that. In practice, what we found is for the previous 8 remaining heroes, the new cards don't really add or change much. You find 2, maybe 3 cards that are maybe ever so slightly in a fractional way better than the cards that you already would have had in decks that you probably are already playing. There's not really any new concepts other than magnetism, and there's only 10 magnetism cards in the whole collection. So you're kind of left with nothing to do. Let's look at the cards, at least here, for the warrior. And generally speaking, what I do is I would disenchant this for 100 and then create this for 100 just to get rid of all the golden cards. Right now I'm not bothering with doing that though, just to save myself some time. It's gone late into the evening and I'm particularly sleepy, so I'm just trying to move through this. So first one, we have a mech. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain 2 armor. That might work with an armor building strategy. Unfortunately, unless I find something that I don't think exists, there's no spell really like Shield Slam. I don't think that's in standard, and I don't think Shield Slam lets you do damage to the enemy hero. So while you can build up a lot of armor and destroy some minions with 2 Shield Slam spells, that's kind of all you can do with it. There might be a weapon that gains attack for your armor, but I don't know if that's the truth. We have our Omega Assembly. Discover a mech. If you have 10 mana crystals, keep all 3 cards. I haven't even tried any of the previous Omega cards. I'm not particularly sure I would want to try this one either. It's not a terribly looking late game spell to basically get 3 mechs, but it's still pretty random. Give a minion rush, draw a card. I guess if you want to give a minion rush and draw a card, that's fine for 2 mana. Each player equips a 2/3 weapon and gains 6 armor. Again, if you need to equip a weapon and gain some armor, that makes sense. Although playing this card pretty much requires you to play Acidic Swamp Ooze right after it. That way you destroy your opponent's weapon, or maybe you could play Harrison Jones. That, like, he might destroy weapons too. You'd have to play something that destroys your opponent's weapons, otherwise it's a zero-sum game. He'll do 6 damage to you and take out the 6 armor with his 2/3 weapon. Because 2/3 means 2 attack, 3 uses. We have deal 5 damage, randomly split among all minions except mechs, which would be fine for an enraged deck. If you just needed one more character that would do damage to your own guys. Not likely that you actually need that though. This weapon, I believe this is probably the only weapon in the entire expansion. The Super Collider, after you attack a minion, force it to attack one of its neighbors. Kinda interesting, not super interesting. Whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 2/3 mech with taunt, which I suppose you could do that 4 or 5 times and then get a lot of 2/3 taunt mechs on the field. A lot of mech related things. Here's a magnetic card. Let's see, the beryllium nullifier. I'm still need to look up, I guess, what a beryllium is, an actual material, or if it's just a made-up Star Trek material. I bet it actually is a real material. That's just really rare. This one is a 7 mana 3/8 mech, and that's kind of it. It has magnetic. Can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. this would be the really cool one to have and probably be a game changer. I have seen maybe 4, maybe 5 game changer cards that had I gotten any of those, I might be a lot more happier with the Boomsday project. But since I didn't get any of those, I'm left just disappointed. I mean, what else can I say? I'm really disappointed with the new cards that I got, and just how new, unfresh, uninteresting all of it is. I would love to see what the big red button does to activate this turn's mech suit power. It seems like it changes every turn, but I can't. And then another legendary, I didn't get any 9 mana spell. The boom ship summons 3 minions that from your hand gives them rush. So let's see what I'm doing with the warrior right now. I have one deck that is completely built around playing weapons. Whenever your weapon is destroyed, it gains +1/+1, and this card is discard all weapons from your hand and gain their stats. And so that's kind of a cool idea. It doesn't play that well, but what it does allow me to do is, if there is ever a daily quest, which very rarely this happens, to play weapons, that weapon deck is there. There's nothing that would be added to this to change that. So that weapon deck goes untouched. And then we have this enraged deck. And let's see. We have a lot of rush minions. We could take that one out because that's just a rush minion. And let's see. We could, like, there's really not too much of a change there. Like, I could maybe find room for 2 copies of that, and that's it. So we've ever so slightly changed this. If I went to wild, I mean, yeah, that might change the factor in the calculation a little bit to make this a wild deck, but I really need to play in standard. So yeah, there's really no reason to go wild for enrage your weapon. I can, I suppose, try here on warrior. So come over here. We could, I think I looked at most of these recipes, but I wouldn't be surprised if one recording I didn't look at the recipes at all. You could, of course, always play classic warrior. I have most of those cards, although I'm still missing that one. But I'm missing a considerable amount of cards for the Gilness Armory and for the Boomsday project. And yeah, I just bought a bunch of cards, just opened a bunch of card packs for the Boomsday project, and still I'm 22 of 30 cards away. 22 of 30 cards I have. So the idea would be, is there really a strategy with armor? Whenever this minion takes damage, gain armor. Gain armor. Deal 1 damage. Here's Shield Slam to a minion for each armor you have. I believe Shield Slam was nerfed at one point, and I think it actually was able to deal damage to a hero. That's been a while though. Has attack equal to your armor, can't attack heroes. Again, useless. For each enemy minion, gain 2 armor. Each player equips weapons, gets armor, gets some armor. Let's see. If it's your opponent turn when it dies, it gains some armor. Spend all your armor and deal that to all damage. Gain some armor and draw some cards. Let's see. Gain some more armor. Gain some more armor. This one gets +1 attack. Gain 5 armor. So there's like 3 more cards that I could do for armor. And there's kind of nothing here. Gain more armor, gain more armor. Gluttonous ooze. And this one's crazy. You deal 5 damage to your hero, gain 5 armor. Yeah, I don't see any reason why you'd want to play that. So there's the best you can do with armor. Unless there's something out there that I don't own. Gain 10 armor, reduce the cost of the minions in your opponent's hand by 2. Yeah, you could gain more armor that way. At the end of your turn, summon a random minion with cost equal to your armor up to 10. That sort of makes sense at that point. And if I convert this to standard though, then I lose a decent amount of the cards. 10 of the 30 cards. So you can't even really play a standard game with it. Okay, well, that inherently just makes that pointless. And that inherently means we just barely changed the enraged deck. And while I would kind of love to just to leave it where it is and not play one game, we'll do some due diligence here and we'll play the enraged deck once, and then that's gonna be it for this stream. Like the Boomsday project, now that I'm at the end, big disappointment. Maybe it got off on the wrong foot with me by just not telling me what freaking day it was gonna come out on. Instead hinting that it was coming out on August 30th via its own shop, because that's what it said. It said that packs would be available to open by at least August 30th, and they put a date on it, so that certainly seemed like that was gonna be the day. It also feels like they've rushed this expansion out early, because usually I have over 100 packs worth of gold, and I only had 80 packs worth of gold this time, and that was on top of the Ragnarok Fire Festival that was giving me double gold. That's on top of me playing every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, covering the video game news and playing Hearthstone, getting all the daily quests done. So gold, there just wasn't as much time. There couldn't have possibly been. They also increased the daily quests, so I should have been getting even more gold, and yet it's just not there. That's just not how it worked, and that's rather frustrating. So here we are on a Tuesday when I thought expansions came out on Thursdays. Maybe I'm dreaming that up. I think in the past they came out on Thursdays. I had scheduled to do something not YouTube related at all for the entire day, which is something rather rare for me to do. And I get word from another person who's already, you know, streaming and talking about it on YouTube. So I'm already way too late at the party. I'm not going to get very many views on this. I get word that the expansion is out. Had I known it was out, I would have been checking at noon. I start streaming at around 2:30, which is too late, basically. So just the way they had a hectic mess here, or at least it felt like a hectic mess in its release to me, set me on a bad mood, certainly. I was alright opening the card packs and just looking at it. I still don't understand why people like the card pack openings. And I definitely was running late to an engagement, so I was rushing through the card pack openings, but now coming back later in the evening and being done with my day and really just wanting to go to sleep, if I can go to sleep, and like insomnia being its own separate issue, I'm left with deck rebuilds. So I'm trying to be a trooper, I'm trying to do the deck rebuilds, and the deck rebuilds aren't working either. None of them really have, because the cards kind of suck. They're as neutral could be. It is, which is weird. Someone did complain on my video when I was just doing the card reveals and looking at the cards and explaining what they were doing, which is what all cards revealed videos are, that I was just kind of saying what they do and not talking about their synergies or how they interact with the neutral cards. And I'm like, yeah, because that's the stuff that's supposed to be in the deck rebuild. Let's just play this since I'm on the rant right now. I didn't even change my weapon deck, but we'll just play it for fun. Yeah, the deck rebuilds were supposed to be the point where I'm considering the neutral cards and the new cards and how they would synergize and how they would make it a cool and interesting deck. The card reveal videos are just incredibly long videos where I'm showing what the cards are and letting people know what they do so they can start thinking about building their own decks and how they might synergize. And occasionally I will mention some interactions that might be cool, but in general it takes 6 hours to do a deck all cards revealed stream, just to talk about the cards. There literally isn't enough time in the same day. And as I've been doing these expansions more and more, I've realized that, yeah, I need to do all cards revealed on one day, I need to do the card pack opening on one day, and I need to do the deck rebuilds probably on the same day as the card pack opening, but it wouldn't be a terrible idea if they were all separated on different days. But in this case, I don't think that would change much. I don't think my feeling or how much I would use the new cards would change too much had I slept 8 to 12 hours in between the card pack opening stream and now. Let's see.
Our hammers echo in the deep.
There we go. So yeah, I don't know where that rant is really going. It's just general frustration, I guess.
What mess have you summoned me to?
Hearthstone making life hard on people. It's supposed to be a card game. It's supposed to be fun.
Our hammers echo in the deep.
Attacking minion costs 1 attack instead of durability.
Strike!
This one will prove very useful.
So, I probably haven't said it in this video, but I've said it in every other one. I'm basically just shilling for hsreplay.net. But off screen, probably, maybe before tomorrow, tomorrow's Wednesday stream, I will make an effort to use HS Replay to replace the decks that I've built here and replace the decks on the European and Asian accounts, which I haven't even touched. That would just be even bigger of a mess. If I was trying to do deck rebuilds on those accounts, I would have considerably less cards. it's definitely the right move to just mostly try to buy, just try and buy classic card packs until you have close to a complete collection of classic card packs, of classic cards.
Job's done.
But yeah, I'm gonna use the Hearthstone deck tracker app on the right to update the account on HS Replay to say, look, what card decks that you know of that lots of people are playing and succeeding with do you want to play? And they're probably going to be pretty boring decks. Which is kind of fine too, because at 4 years in, I guess I am just done with trying to say anything new or interesting about Hearthstone or comment on the gameplay at all. So this whole playing Hearthstone now is probably at the point where it should just fall into the background and be the background noise of the video game news, which more and more I've been focusing on when I stream, and I think that works relatively well. Let's see. Also damages minions next to whoever it attacks.
Before me.
There we go.
Darkness rises.
Then deal 1 damage to all minions.
Job's done.
And then end the turn. Probably not gonna win here. In fact, this deck, which I apparently have only played 5 times, has a 1 to 4 win ratio. So it's running 20%. Now 17%, 1 to 5 win ratio. When it does work, the weapon deck is kind of fun, though. But it is so built around doing daily quests. So, where are we just in general? When I think about it, think about where I am as far as progress in Hearthstone, I think about what's missing. And with this new expansion, they have added a lot of cards that, of course, I don't have. I am pretty sure I had a complete collection of rare and common cards, and so I don't know why I'm missing some rares now. Maybe I only had a complete collection of commons across all these standard and wild things. I may have had a complete collection of all these standard commons and rares, but every single card you're seeing, whether it's blue or not, means that there's a card missing. So in this case there can be 2 of them, it's missing 1. In this case there can be 2 of them, it's missing 2. In the case of this legendary, it's missing 1, you can only have 1. This expansion is added to that missing feeling, and that's kind of the only thing it's added to. I need just bucket loads of dust to try and fill in the gaps, to have a collection where you could have a little bit of fun with it, build the kind of decks you want. I'm not opposed to working for it, certainly. I've been playing the game for 4 years. I feel like I probably have worked towards the goal of having a close to complete collection. And I don't care about the gold versions of cards, so they can just be standard versions for all I care. But I should have a lot more of these neutral cards. I should have a lot more of these cards in general. But decisions are certainly having to be made. Like Yogg Saron, I should have had that months and months ago and just never got around to it. When you start to There's 56 pages of missing cards. If I look at standard cards and say, well, maybe playing Wild and having a complete Wild collection is asking too much, there's still 31 pages of standard cards. Just like, yeah, that's still a lot of cards that are in standard play that other people have. Every single missing card here is an advantage to another player who does have them. And that's not good. I don't even have 4 years in a complete collection of the classic card set. Like, everybody should have a complete collection of the classic card set. New players should just be handed a complete collection of the card set. But no, I'm sitting here needing to spend 1600 dust on this, 1600 dust on this, and 3200 dust between these two. Yep, that's where this kind of breaks down to. I don't feel like right now I can say Boomsday added much to the game, other than adding a bunch of cards that now theoretically the completionist player would want to collect. So on that note, that's going to be it for this stream and this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos because that helps me with YouTube. When you subscribe, click the notification bell so maybe you'll get notifications. I heard they actually work today for some people. Maybe that's because I was streaming so late at night. If you want to friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description box. And if you want to support me, my only monetization policy right now is to ask people to friend me on Steam and gift me either a game off my wishlist or any game you want me to play, or if you don't want to make a decision, gift me a gift card. If you happen to have a Steam code from a different site, send that through Twitter direct message. That's it for this recording. It really wasn't that great. I don't think so, at least. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.